Welcome to the Love Kanika podcast. My name is Kanika,
My name is Vanita.
and we are back for another episode. Um, First, I would like to have a welcome to, as you can see, we have guests tonight for this episode. Um, Ladies, if you don't mind introducing yourselves really quick, and we'll start with you at the top. Yes, you, Karina.
Um, Karina, on top of introducing yourself, Karina, can all you guys also let us know how many kids you have for the viewers and your kids' ages and if you're married or single?
All right, my name is Karina, and I have one child. It's a boy. He's 19, and I'm not married.
Okay. We can move on to Katrina.
Hey everyone, I'm Katrina. I am married. We have five collectively 30, soon to be 25, 18, 16, and 12.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Are you married or single?
She said married. She said
Oh, you
married.
did say married. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm
I'm
married.
sorry. Okay. Got you. Got you. Melissa.
I'm Melissa. My daughter, she is 22. I am single.
Okay. And Tasha.
I am Tasha. I have three kids aged 25, 23, and 18. Soon to be 19 in 2 weeks.
Perfect.
All right, ladies.
Well,
When
thank
your
you so
birthday,
much.
Tasha? Mine is 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. 2 weeks. Okay.
I think
Okay.
Go ahead.
Tasha froze.
I don't think she could hear you.
No,
But
I
we get.
think her screen froze.
Oh, she is.
Oh,
There it
okay.
is.
Okay. All
I
right. She'll.
froze.
Yeah. You're
Oh, I'm
good now.
sorry.
Yeah, you're good
Okay.
now. It
No.
happens.
Yeah,
It
it
happens.
does.
Okay. First, if you're new to the channel, if you don't mind subscribing, because as you know, I have a new channel. This is a new podcast, so I could use all the help I could get. And if you don't mind liking the video and sharing it if you so choose to, I would sure appreciate it. And Vanita is going to curate this show. So go ahead, V.
Thank you again, guys, for coming on to the show today. I'm going to just go through a series of questions, as Kanika advised earlier. Choose each one of you to answer the question. If someone wants to, piggyback or say something off of the question, please feel free. So to start off, my first question would be, what made you guys have kids? So I will start off with Melissa.
Um, well, I was just coming out of school. I was 21 and I fell in love with my high school love. His name was Willie, and we didn't plan it. We were staying together. We were living by ourselves, and we talked about it, but we was gonna get married, and I just had a child, and we went from there.
Okay. Karina.
Um, what made me have a child? I decided, at first I didn't want to get married or have any kids. So I went through a process of figuring that out, and then I decided I wanted to have a kid. So I turned around, got pregnant, and had my son at 33.
Okay. Yeah. Tasha.
So I never want to say that my kids were an accident, but I didn't choose motherhood. Motherhood chose me.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after the second one, I actually did in vitro to have the third one because I was then married.
Okay.
And
So
my
the
intent,
first two were not planned, is what
that,
you're saying.
correct. I was a
Okay.
chosen mom.
Okay. Understood. Yes. Got you. Got you. And Trina.
First, Tasha, I love that. A chosen mom. My first one, I was being fast, being totally
Okay.
transparent. So I had my son at 16. That's my 30-year-old.
Okay.
My daughter, I was engaged to her dad. That didn't work.
Okay.
My bonus kids are with my husband, and they are all my heart.
Okay. So just to clarify, you have two biological.
I
And
have two
then
biological and then three bonus babies.
3 bonus babies. Okay. All right, ladies. Thank you for those answers. Did anybody have any questions or follow-ups for anybody on that one?
No.
No? All right. So moving on. I'm gonna ask the question that's out there that everybody's been asking, so that we can delve a little bit deeper into things. Um, what do you guys perceive that you got out of having kids? So we'll start off with Trina.
For me, it made me grow up. Um, like I said, I had my son at 16, literally 2 weeks before my 17th birthday. And of course, I'm the oldest of my mom's children. So I was the big sister, the per se grown up in the house when my mom had to work. My mom was a single mom.
Okay.
So when I had my own child, I was not necessarily responsible just for my siblings. I was responsible for my child. So it made me grow up
It made you
a
grow
little
up.
faster
Okay.
than I wanted to, but I thank God for all of his blessings in the midst of that journey.
Okay. And Karina?
Well, I had my son. A lot of people are surprised that he was planned, but I had my son because I figured if I was going to have a kid, I wanted my child. I knew I was going to have a boy somehow, some way, and he, yeah, I just wanted to have a kid. I actually, up until a little while ago, wanted to have another one, but, yeah, having my
Okay.
son, I really wanted to see how I was going to be as a mother because of my childhood.
Okay. Okay. So you felt like based off of your childhood, you wanted to see a different experience. Is that kind of what you're
See a
saying,
different
Olivia?
experience, yes. To see if I
Okay.
could raise my child differently than I was raised.
Okay. Do you perceive that you succeeded in that?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Very much
Excellent.
so.
Excellent. All right. Tasha?
I feel like I developed thick skin by becoming a mother.
What do you mean by
Um,
that?
because you have a lot. Well, so I got pregnant at 18,
Okay.
right after I graduated from high school, and you have people because you are a teenage mom. You know, you have the naysayers, and
Mhm.
they feel like you're not going to do well, in
Mhm.
life. And so I had to develop thick skin and push forward so that I can prove people wrong, basically.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And based on that um, thick skin, I am
Hmm.
where I am today.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I love that,
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
definitely. And
Mhm.
Melissa?
I was 21 when I had my daughter. I'm not going to say I was a regular teen, so I think it kind of slowed me down. Um, and I enjoyed every bit of it. And like the other lady was saying, maybe last year I was still wanting to have a child, and I'm going to be 45 now. Um, I don't want to have a child anymore now, but motherhood was good for me. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't planned, but still enjoyed it. So.
Okay. When you say good for you, Melissa, what does that mean? Can you just elaborate a little bit on what that means?
I enjoyed raising her, put it that way. I enjoyed it. It hasn't been it's been hard raising her being a single parent, but
Hmm.
I enjoy it. I love kids.
Okay. I'm sorry. Did you say that you wanted to have another one or you did not? You don't now. Is that what you said? I'm sorry.
I If the right persons came around,
Hmm.
I would have another one, but I'm finna be 45, so maybe not. I'm finna be 45 Saturday, so
Oh,
it
happy
hasn't
early
happened so far.
birthday
So
to
I
Happy
you.
don't think I'm
Yes.
birthday.
ready. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Follow up to that, I'll be
So I'll be
45 in
okay with just being
April,
her.
and my that ship has sailed a long time ago for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you. You said 45 in April, Tasha?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, fantastic. Okay. Fantastic.
Wow.
To follow
Got
up with
you.
Tasha and in her thick skin, I
Uh-huh.
love that response. Mine was more so, yeah, I was fast. I wasn't gonna graduate. I wasn't gonna succeed. I was gonna have 4, 5 babies by the time I'm 25.
Mm-hmm.
I thank God that was not the case. I still graduated on time. I still raised my son myself. I moved out of my mom's house. So I'm like you, Tasha. You had to not necessarily prove the naysayers wrong, but I knew who I was.
Got you.
That thick
Next.
skin played a part in it.
So Tasha and Trina, do you guys feel like that you're saying thick skin? So do you feel like having the one kind of your initial one slowed you down or put you on whatever your thought process of a right track would be in life?
Um, Not necessarily because, like I said, I was 16. I had plans for college. I was going to college with my best friends. We all had straight plans. So when I got pregnant, they still were including me in the plans. Like, we're going to go to college together. We're going to get an apartment together. We're going to do shifts and take care of your son. Don't be with his daddy. Let's do this. We going to take care of him. But more so me trying to keep that family bond. I
Mm-hmm.
decided to be with my son's father, which wasn't necessarily the right move because I didn't go to college when I should have, and different things transpired. So it took me a while to get back to school where I needed to be. I'm in school now. I'm 47, but
Mm-hmm.
I have a goal to complete my degree. So,
Okay.
For
And Tasha?
me, it did because of the career choice that I made at the time. It did delay me a year because I was doing funeral service, like mortuary funeral service, and because of the chemicals, I couldn't be in school pregnant.
Yeah.
So I had to
Oh,
wait,
wow.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow.
another year before I can attend school. So it did delay me, but
Mhm.
it didn't stop me.
All right.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Karina, Melissa, do you guys perceive it either steered you in the right direction or veered you off in any kind of way by having
Well,
kids?
it helped me prove to myself, like I said before, like my childhood growing up, I just always wanted to be like, I was afraid to have a kid because of that. And then when I decided to have a kid, I was like, I'm going to be the total opposite. Like the curse stops here, the bullshit stops here. I'm not going to drag it on to the next generation. So, I mean, I was very proud of myself that I did what I did. And my son has turned out, he's now saying he's no angel, but he's a good kid.
Okay.
He's a good kid. So,
I
yeah.
would have to say that by becoming like I don't know if I would be in this person that I am today if I wasn't a parent
Right.
because I feel like I
Right.
grind harder because I had children because I had people depending on me. If it was
Right.
just me, I no telling what I'd be out here doing, But
Look,
Let me just say
Out
this.
in them
looking at
streets having a good
girl,
time.
I'd be out here, But when you have little people depending on you, like it made me like I wanted my kids to see me do it in spite of,
Mhm.
So I went to
Okay.
school and I got my degrees and I, maintained a steady income and I took care of them and did certain things. If I didn't have the responsibility of taking care of kids, I just don't know for sure if I'd be this person.
that's real. That's
Okay.
real.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, let's go
Yeah.
piggyback off of what
I,
Tasha just said. And oh, Melissa, I'm sorry.
mhm.
Yes, I don't think you answered. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. It's okay. Me having a child, I wanted to go to school for registered nurse. And when I decided to go to school for registered nurse, my daughter was in middle school. And I didn't want to put her thing to the side of pushing her to the side with my parents, leaving her with my parents so I can go to school for registered nurse. So I put that to the side. When I did decide to go to school for registered nurse, it was just, I never finished and life hit me and I'm just, you know. Didn't finish, but I enjoy raising my child. So,
Okay, well, it's a
Okay.
thing called
but
COVID
I'll
now,
piggyback
and you
off
can
of what
actually
the
go
other
be a
lady
nurse
said.
now real quick. So
Okay.
Yes,
go ahead.
yes,
It's not too late.
yes.
Pursue that thing.
It's never too late, Melissa.
I know it. Well, I
Nope.
heard the other lady when she said she was 47. I commend you on that.
Baby, I'm not gonna tell you it's easy, but I have a very
I know
supportive
it. I
husband,
know it.
and he make me do my homework when I don't be wanting
That's
to.
good.
But
That's good.
it's
That's
something I
good.
want to achieve, and he heard me say it, so he pushes me like, "Nah, you don't need to take no break. Go on and do your classes, slow and steady." I mean, I only take 2 classes a semester because I am a payroll supervisor, which this job is running me crazy. Um,
Mhm.
Right.
I don't have a work life
Right.
balance, but him being that supportive person allows me to do what I need to do, if that makes
Gotcha.
sense.
Mhm.
Definitely. It
Mhm.
Yep.
definitely does. So, with
Yep.
that being said, ladies, I have my next question would be, do you perceive that your, well, let me ask this. Are you ladies in relationships? Trina, we know you're married, but Karina, are you currently in a relationship?
No.
Okay,
Not
so
at
single.
all.
That was at the beginning. We did talk
Yep.
about everybody single. So then my next question would be, do you perceive that having kids slowed you down from getting into a relationship or getting married? Melissa?
I am not in a relationship right now. What was the other
Okay.
question? I'm sorry.
The other question was, do you perceive that having your child slowed you down from getting in a relationship now or even getting married early on?
Um, Me having a child now has not slowed me down for being in a relationship, or it did not prevent me from getting married earlier. I don't think it
You d-
has. I don't think it has.
okay. Tasha?
No, ma'am. Kids didn't stop anything. Um, but I do think that they help steer my decision making by just,
In
Mm-hmm.
you know,
in what way?
making a choice not to get married while my kids were still young. I mean, while they were still dependent on me. Just
It
for the simple fact that I've been a step parent before,
okay.
and it's not always the best situation. And I have 3 kids. Some kids may be accepting, some may not. You just never know. And I just didn't want to put my kids in a situation where, I mean, they were already, um, what's the word I'm looking for? They were already, I can't say damaged goods, but I had been through a divorce already.
Hmm.
And I just didn't want them to get attached to somebody that may not be around while they were still dependent on me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Karina?
I don't think my child stopped me from being married or getting, involved with anybody. I didn't get involved with, I haven't been in a relationship for a minute due to my own me doing me. But yeah, my son didn't know. I don't think my son hindered me in, getting married or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ladies. My next question is, all you guys name your or stated that your kids are pretty much over the age of 18 or close to it. I think Tasha, you had the youngest out of all the ladies. But do you guys perceive that your kids can be self-sustainable um, now that they are of age?
I think Katrina kids were younger than mine.
Oh,
They
treat.
are.
Well, we
Yep.
have
Oh,
a
I'm sorry. Okay, so Trina.
so we have a 12 and Jordan is 15. So
Yeah.
So then, not those two, your youngest two, because of course they're still under your roof or their mom's roof if they're your
mhm,
husband's kids. But for your kids that are of age,
the
Mhm.
18,
whether they're
25, and 30,
yes, ma'am. If
okay,
or do you perceive that they're self-sustainable?
almost definitely. Um, Jaden just graduated in May. He actually moved to another state. He got a job. He's working on getting him an apartment. He didn't want to go to college. We encouraged it, but
Hmm.
he was adult enough to let us know he wasn't ready.
Okay.
And I think forcing them wouldn't have made it any better. It would have wasted our money,
Hmm.
saved me from getting my husband out of jail.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, got you.
so he let us know, like, I'm not ready to go to school, so I'm gonna get this job. He's been working successfully. He has his own car. He pays for his insurance, so he's sustaining. And the 25-year-old, she's in Colorado. She has an apartment.
Okay.
My 30-year-old, he lives. Him and his girlfriend just got a new apartment. They're all doing good, and I'm gonna be the mama. I'm being totally transparent.
Hmm.
I don't send money for your play games. You do that.
Gotcha.
You choose to all your extracurricular activities. That's on you. You're an adult. I'm mama. Now, if I choose on your birthday to send you 25, 50, that's me.
Hmm.
But don't text me saying, "Ma, let me get 20." For what?
Got you. Okay. So you have boundaries to this
Oh, most
whole.
definitely. Most
Okay.
definitely. I am a mom, and my son, he's 30. So he's 30 and he has two kids. So I'm a nana. I'm not a grandma. I'm a nana.
What? Okay. Is there a difference? Because you.
Yes, yes.
What's the difference
It
in that?
is. It is.
Grandmama
Oh,
stuff.
it is. Okay.
It
Okay. Okay.
is.
Nana
Can y'all
Nana
explain the
do what she
difference?
do. Right.
Because we're under 50, there is a
Bam.
difference.
Oh, okay. So
Bam.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Okay.
Just
I'm
because I'm
Gigi.
47, don't get it.
Right. I'm
I'm
Oh.
still
Gigi.
cute and sexy. Nana
We
still
not
have her
grandma.
kids.
I don't care if I have 10 other grandkids. They better not call me grandma.
Ladies.
Never.
Because I'm old as
Oh,
Betty White. No, ma'am. We're not doing
Right.
that. My
whoa.
name
So
is
they have to
Nana.
call you Nana. Okay.
They call me
Okay.
Gigi. My baby call me
Gigi.
Gigi.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
My Kuda calls me Nana. So yeah. But it's a thing. Like, I thank God, I knock on wood. My son has never called me to say, "Ma, I can't pay my child support," or "I can't buy diapers," or "I can't buy milk," because he knows how I get down. Now he might text me and say, "Ma, I didn't handle all my business. I'm short on some gas to do what I need to do. Can I
Hmm.
hold $40?" Sure. But on that day, your day you get paid, I better be the first cash app I see in the morning.
Mm.
Because if you mess up your bank, mama bank, I don't do look, you got one time to mess up that loan from Mama Bank, you will never
Hmm.
get another deposit.
Yeah, I'm with you,
Wow.
Rachel. Okay.
Got you. I was
Now,
gonna say,
the
Tasha,
business
and
is a mean mama, but call it what you want. It's called learn responsibility.
mm, okay, that makes sense. I definitely understand. Melissa.
Well, I spoiled mine, and she's still here. And she was my
Hey,
first. She's my only. I spoiled
Hmm.
her. I'm sorry, and it's hard for me. I've
don't apologize.
disattached.
I need to
I've
send you some of that thick
disattached, but
skin, but yeah.
yeah, you do. I hear you, but I'm trying to push. But it is. I don't know if it's her or me or we both or you know.
y'all
I don't
codependent.
know.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm
Maybe
on the
her.
opposite end of that spectrum. I'm kind of with Katrina on this one. My three kids, like I said, are 25, 23, and 18.
Hmm.
And my 18-year-old, he'll actually be 19 on the fourth, well, like a week and a half from now. And
Hmm.
he's in the process of buying his own house.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. He'll be closing around his
Good,
birthday.
good, good.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Right.
my
That's
oldest
wonderful.
daughter, she got pregnant. No, no, she got pregnant at 15 and had my grandson at 16.
Okay.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. You got to put your big girl panties on, tie your boots up, and do what you got to do. I'm not the babysitting grandmother, right?
Hmm.
I do it now for the summers because I choose to, but it's not because I have to. Um,
Gotcha.
and when my middle daughter, well, so she's grown and on her own, she has her own esthetician business. So
Okay.
she does well for herself. My middle child, which was the one who I thought would never leave, just because she, you know, she really didn't have friends and she wasn't into the things that most kids are into.
Mhm.
When she went to college, I sent her away to college to Florida just because I didn't want her to be around me all the time. I needed her to know what separation from me was like. She needed to be able to become a productive citizen of society in case I close my eyes whenever.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so she went to college. She wanted to move off campus, which I'm fine with, but you can pay your own bills. So she paid her own rent,
Amen.
her own car note, her own insurance. She did it all because that's not my responsibility. You once I get you to
Yes, you did.
18,
Mhm.
I'm responsible for you until you're 18. Now,
Gotcha.
of course, anybody, even me as 44, can, you know, you can have a financial hardship. I'm going to always be there for my kids, but you are no longer my sole responsibility to take care of you. You grown. Everybody want to get grown until it's time to pay bills.
That
I
part.
remember how that was myself when I was younger. We scream and yell saying we
Right.
tired of being kids. You want to be an adult so you get out there. So I know what you
Bye.
mean.
Bye.
You guys, it is
Big
so
facts.
funny. It is so funny. My daughter will be 25 on the 17th. So I'm going to visit her in Colorado. And she's like, I said, well, what you want for your birthday, Pooh? She's like, Mom, good. I want you to come out here and we can go eat. I said, look, Mom ain't gonna be the restaurant chick all weekend. I taught you how to cook now. But you'll get your birthday dinner. But still,
Yeah, gotcha. Karina, do
Well,
you
my
perceive?
son, now I perceive that my son, yeah, he's ready to be out on his own.
Hmm.
Currently, he is not, but he got his plan. He's like sitting up there looking at me like, Mom, I don't know, but I got my plan. I got my plan. The what he wants to do is get his license. He said, Mom, once I get my license, I'm moving out. So his plan is to
Wow.
get his license this month into next month. And my son is not, you know, if he tell me he gonna do something, he gonna do it. Like, okay, Mom, I'm leaving. So he's been working this job. He's the longest job he's had in a minute. Um, my son didn't go to college either. It was talked about, but I wasn't gonna force him because, like Katrina said, I ain't wasting no money. Okay,
Hmm.
because you don't get no good grades. Guess what? Oh,
you still got to pay that
but
parent loan.
yeah. So I was just like, he's like, nah, he don't want to. So when he's ready, I told him I'll help him, right?
Hmm.
And he can do what he wants to do. But yeah, my son right now, he's ready to leave. He's like, I'm ready to go. I said, Bryce, you sure you all right? You can handle your business. He said, Mom, what I don't know, what you told me, he said, the rest I'll learn. He said, if I have to, I'll call you on the phone and ask. But yeah, he's ready to go. And part of me is ready for him to go. I'm not gonna push him out the door. I love my child.
Hmm.
Yes. Everybody thinks I didn't cut the umbilical cord. I cut that at 5. I started at 5 years old cutting that umbilical cord. So now he's 19. He'll be 20 this year. So but yes, he's ready to go.
All right. All right, ladies. Thank you for that. So my next question is so this one is quite funny to me, but so the men in our community believe that women are delusional for keep having kids over and over unmarried. Do you agree with them or disagree with them? We'll start with Tasha.
I have to say that I disagree.
And why?
Um, I don't think we're the delusional ones.
Okay.
I think they're delusional. Uh,
What do you mean
um,
by that?
so,
In what way?
this is just me and my personal experience. That's all I can
Definitely.
speak
That's
to.
all you can give. I get it.
Um, Women, we have to bear a lot to become parents. Just the
Hmm.
hormonal, I don't know, my body doesn't do well with pregnancy. My hormones be all over the place.
Hmm.
So I may love you before I get pregnant, and then once I get pregnant, I don't like you. I mean, it is just, I'm just keeping it real. I don't like you.
I got you.
And
Okay.
so I actually, I have 3 kids by 3 different guys for that simple reason that I don't like them after, just don't like 'em. So before, like I told you, I did in vitro with my son because my ex-husband wanted, we had 3 girls between us, but he wanted a boy. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I told him, like, you have to know that there's a possibility I'm not gonna like you.
Oh
After I
wow,
get
you
pregnant.
literally told him.
I
Wow.
had to because I had 2 strikes already.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I already knew. And so he was like, no, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Well, I can tell you that I stopped liking him shortly after I got pregnant.
Wow.
But I mean, I stayed for another 4 years just to make it work. But I just think that women shouldn't stay with somebody and continue to have children with the same man,
hmm
same face.
Mm.
Like I, I don't care about what people say about me. If I had 5 kids with 5 different men, that's my choice, as long as I'm able to take care of them. Because
Right.
I don't feel that I need to stick with one man and have all 5 of my kids if I don't feel that he's the man for me. So no, we're not delusional. They are. Because a lot of times they're not
Okay.
doing what's necessary to keep us liking them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Girl, we ain't gotta be pregnant. They still don't do what they need to do. Like,
well, right. But so that they're the ones with the issue.
Right.
Mm-hmm. If
Oh,
men could
okay.
have kids, they wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Girl.
Exactly.
I believe that. I
The
Exactly.
agree.
world will be better.
Melissa.
Not delusional. I think when I said that I would get pregnant, I think I cursed myself because I said I only want, this just me from the beginning. I was young. I was 21. I only wanted one baby daddy, want to be married to that man, and I want to have kids. Well, he, Lord forbid, he passed, and I only have one child, and we weren't married. So I don't know if I done that to myself or I don't know, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Karina.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm with Tasha. I think they're delusional because if you as a woman want to keep having kids, like she said, 5 different baby daddies, whatever the case may be, if you can take care of them, have as many kids as you can afford or want. You know what I'm saying? Or well, afford, right? So I'm with her. Like men are delusional. Like, nah. I stopped having I had one. I had one. He didn't act right, he wasn't getting no more. And that was it. And I lived with that. Like, all right, cool. I only got one. I did want another one. Time didn't. Things. But I'm still blessed, so I'm fine.
Okay. And Trina.
Okay, repeat the question so I'm clear that I'm understanding it correctly.
Okay. So the word on the street from the men are women are delusional for having kids unmarried. Do you agree or disagree with that? And why?
I disagree. It's a woman's choice. And just because she doesn't choose to settle
hmm
with that man because she didn't had a baby by him,
hmm
point and taken. I got 2 baby daddies. I didn't choose to settle with some Negroes. Oh well. But I was woman enough to know where I wanted to be and what, like Tasha said, I could take care of my 2. I was good. If
And I
I
think
had
it's a double.
4
I'm sorry.
and I could take care of them, that would have been on me because I
Mhm.
did not choose to settle with the mess that I was dealing with.
hmm Okay. All right. Tasha, you were going
Yeah, I
to
was
say
about to
something?
say, I think there's a double standard because men are out here testing waters,
hmm
at 15, 16, not married. If before
Mhm.
I get married, I want to make sure that what I'm settling down with, I'm gonna like. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
Yeah,
that's why
not
I
just
have
the
to, I understand that, sex before marriage, blah, 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 whatever. Okay. It's a lot of us that didn't follow that rule. Okay.
hmm
But it's some women out here who did and are very disappointed because they didn't test drive.
For real.
Mhm.
We
But
test drove, we got caught up, it is what it is. We moved on. Like I said, I didn't choose motherhood. Motherhood chose me. I had to take it in stride and keep moving. That don't make me delusional.
Not at all. So
Okay.
then, in that retrospect, Benita,
Mhm.
what about these men out here with these 5, 6 kids by all these baby mamas?
I mean
Mamas,
that you have a point there.
you ain't doing
Double
nothing.
standard. Exactly.
You out here and you're not taking care of them. You got 5
Exactly.
kids by 5 different
Right.
baby mamas. Is that being delusional? So you meet a woman and you say, "Oh, I got 5 baby mamas." What does that woman say to you? So you out here
Run.
just dropping
That's what
seeds.
she says. She says run. She just
Right.
runs. Run out the room. Go as far as you can. Don't come back. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Just run.
So I
Run.
think, ladies, what the men are saying, though, you know, at the end of the day, we know that we all have the last say on having kids. So you guys are absolutely right when you say that, you know, we're all out here having sex without getting married first and things of that sort. But we do have a choice. I mean, in our generation, we have birth control and abortion and things of that sort that's available. So did that ever come to any of you guys' mind in order to do that? And we'll start off with Karina. Karina got a one finger up, so I think she's
Yeah,
looking
like
to say something.
yes, yes. Well,
Yeah, go ahead, Karina.
what I found about most of my friends that are African American and Hispanic, they don't believe in abortion. So when they get pregnant, they're gonna have this baby, they're gonna do what they have to do, they're gonna raise the kid and everything. Now, me on the other hand, before I had my son, I was pregnant twice. I was
Mhm.
too young to have them kids. No, I wasn't doing that. I was like, no, I still got to figure out who I am. So I aborted those. I don't regret it, right? But I had my son. But yeah. I mean, we have those options, but sometimes, like, if we don't talk to our young boys, young girls, and tell them, like, okay, these are the options you have. All right, I know you're gonna do it because anytime you tell your kids don't have sex, they're gonna have
That's what
sex.
they're gonna do it.
But let me give you the options that you have out here. Your daughter, you got birth control. Your son, here, wear a condom. And make sure you put that shit on. Double bag if you have to, because I don't want no grandkids. So I think that's what happens between, like, in our community. Like, sometimes our young daughters and sons, they listen to their stupid friends instead of listening, like, okay, let me go to somebody, like, if one of the parents they could talk to, an aunt, the mother, the father, a cousin, that maybe knows something so that they can get the proper information. Because I can't tell you the dumb shit my friends used to tell me when I first started having sex, or I was about to have sex. I used to look at them like, I said, okay, no. Let me go to my mother, Ma. She was like, I said, yeah, Ma, I am having sex, but I need to find out from you how it is. She's like, all right, you on the pill? I took care of all that myself. The pill, everything. And I was just like, hey. But, as things happen, because I wouldn't gotten pregnant twice before. But yeah, I was just like, you gotta let them know what their options are. And not for them to feel guilty, because abortion might be a choice that, don't feel bad if you and the girl decide that. I mean, that might be for the betterment of both of you. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know how neither one of their lives are going to turn out.
That's true. All right, Tasha.
So I was one of those individuals where I tried to take birth control, but just chemically it didn't agree with me. So I couldn't. So I had to rely solely on the man, wearing condoms. And I don't think that women should bear the full responsibility of becoming pregnant. Like yeah, I'm going to make you wear a condom, but I still, to this day, my baby is 23 years old, and I swear I got set up by her daddy. I promise you.
Wow. Okay.
I'm taking that to the grave, I promise. But you can do, I'm saying that to say you can do all the right things,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not 100% foolproof.
Exactly.
And I was 21 years old with 2 kids because of it. So, I mean, things happen. It is what it is. It's like I say, the kids aren't a mistake. It was meant to happen that way, I think. But we shouldn't bear the full responsibility because we got pregnant and it was with more than one person.
Okay. And Trina?
So with my son, of course, like I said, I was 16.
Mhm.
So I did the Karina thing. Let me talk to my girlfriends. Let me see how I'm gonna get rid of this baby. So my dumb tail, then I didn't squirt this stuff up in me. I did a water bottle. You know, they said if you push the hot water bottle up in you, it's gonna make the baby come on out when your period come on. You know,
Oh, I didn't know that one. That's a new one for me. Okay.
I'm
But
47. When
obviously
I
it didn't
tell
work
you,
because she still had a baby.
baby. But I
Okay.
literally went to Planned Parenthood in Chicago with my sister,
Hmm.
put in the stirrups and everything. I was like, I can't do this. I'm running track. I got to go to college with everybody. You know,
Hmm.
to me, I was finna destroy every plan I had, but I couldn't do it. To each other,
Wow.
I just couldn't. And when I say feet in the stirrups, the lady about to put the stuff in my arm, I was like, "Don't you poke me with that needle? I'm finna go home." And what made it so bad, Benita, you've met my mother.
Yes.
When I
Yes.
told her, and I was 16,
Hmm.
she said, "When I finish beating your ass, you're gonna have this baby, and you're gonna do what you're
Oh,
supposed to do. You're gonna graduate." And she beat my ass. I thought that was gonna be
Sure.
abortion enough, but
Okay.
but it was a thought. It was a thought.
So it was a thought. Okay.
It was.
And Melissa,
okay, repeat the question so I can make sure I do it right.
the question is we were talking about how men feel you guys are delusional. So my follow-up question to that was men perceive we have the last say, which we do have the last say. And we have abortion, birth control pills, all those type of things that are out there. Did any of that ever cross your mind?
Okay, I was on Depo. I stopped taking Depo because I had taken it for a long time.
Hmm.
We might as well say we plan to have my daughter Jamila. I do not believe in abortion. I'm 100% against it. I
Hmm.
feel, it's just me,
Okay.
if
Hmm.
I decide to have sex, then I understand and realize if I have sex and something may happen as in a baby, then I'm just responsible for that. But
Okay.
yeah, I didn't have any. We I was
Is
off the
is
depot
that
shop
a
when Jamila was born.
when she was conceived? Okay. Question for you, Melissa.
Right.
Is that a conversation because you don't believe in abortion? Is that a conversation that you have with whomever that you may be sleeping with?
Yes, that
Okay.
was a conversation.
All right.
And my aggravation with the whole
Yes.
thing is they want us to make the decision. Men have birth control options too, but you don't
That's
hear them
true.
talking about it.
Mm-mm.
Go get yourself snipped if you want to be
Mhm.
out here spreading love all over the place. Don't leave the responsibility on me. Because if I end up pregnant, men don't have abortions. So they really
That's
don't
true.
have to bear the responsibility of ending a life. You know what
Mm,
I mean? But you
yeah.
can prevent somebody from having to make that decision by getting yourself fixed. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't, it
Mm,
takes what the women have to go through, even if it's just birth control, like that causes harm to us. You know what I'm saying? Like we shouldn't have to go through all of these steps to prevent having babies for them. All they
mm,
gotta do is go get snipped. That ain't gonna hurt them.
Their
mm.
pride.
They have no hormones or nothing. You know, they have nothing that they have to take afterwards. They just won't produce children. But if
Mm.
people, you do hormone, you do birth control, you got to worry about hemorrhaging, you got to worry about having heart attacks, you got to have all these side effects just to have fun in the bed.
Mm.
No, you know, that's they
Makes sense.
delusional. I'm telling you, they are the one. They
Got you.
delusional. Yeah.
Got you. Thank you, ladies, for that. So, my next question to you guys would be for those of you that are not in relationships, are you ready for a relationship? Let's start with Karina.
Yes, I'm ready for a relationship. No.
Got you. Um,
Okay, let me stop
well,
cracking jokes. But anyway, yes, I'm ready for a relationship. I would like to be in a relationship, but I've noticed that since putting my little foot in the water back again, dating wise, it's just crazy out there. I'm just like, oh my God. So do you date? Do you just do friends with benefits? Do you just fuck? What do you do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I mean, I'm ready for a relationship. I mean, if that right person comes along, that would be great. We can see where it goes.
Okay. Follow-up question for you, Karina. You did say your son is still in the house with you, correct?
Yeah.
Do you perceive that in the process of trying to get a relationship, that him being in the house will hinder that process?
No, because it's called a fucking hotel.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Okay,
Yeah, like
gotcha.
no. Like no, we cannot do this here. When he's not here, okay, fine, no problem. But no.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
if he's a dad too and he has his kids and stuff, he's gonna have his kids every once in a while. So hopefully he's one of those kind of dad. But yeah, I won't be able to go over there with with that. So same here. So
Okay.
I don't think it stops any shows. I just think, you just gotta go someplace else.
Gotcha. Would you be open to, if he was ready, you guys had been dating and he was ready to get into something serious with you and
Mhm.
cohabitate, but didn't want your son in the house because he's an adult? How do you perceive you be able to handle that?
I don't know. We'd have to talk about that because that
Okay.
would be like that would have to come up way before we even get to that point. Way before we even get to that point. So that would honestly decide like, okay, yeah, my son's not ready to go out on his own. No, he's not gonna be 25 and in the house. No, because my son don't even want to be 20. He don't be 20 and in the house. But that would just like I would seriously back away from him. Like, you know what? You good and everything, but it's just like me telling him, okay, me and you can't have something, whatever the case may be, because you got a child there, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
same age, same situation. No, I wouldn't. No,
Okay.
no.
And Tasha, are you ready? No, you don't have any kids in the house, correct?
No kids in the house.
Okay. Are you ready for a relationship?
I I am not quite sure a relationship is ready for me. Um,
What does that mean?
well, I've been on my own for a long time since my
Hmm.
divorce, and I'm used to, you know, I'm set in my ways, like they say. And
Hmm.
this new way of dating,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
haven't
I
adapted
understand.
to it really,
Yeah,
and
no, no.
I mean, because I'm kind of like a no BS type of person, and I don't have
Hmm.
time to be stroking egos and all. And
Yeah.
I don't have time to be. I feel like come to me as a man. I'm a woman. Come to me already a man. Like I don't want to. I'm trying to develop my 18-year-old into a man. I don't want to have to do that with somebody that I'm dating.
Mm.
And it seems like people, not all, but just again, this is my experience. The women of their past allowed so much
Mm-hmm.
to where they feel all women are like that, and I'm just not.
No.
And my tolerance is low,
Mm.
so I am ready, but it just has to be somebody who's also ready without me having to ego stroke all the time. I don't want to do
Hmm.
that. But I don't have any kids in the house. But I can't say, I will say that if I decided to date somebody, I wouldn't want to date somebody with dependent children.
I was just going to ask that question. Okay.
Yeah, not in the house with them.
Okay.
Although I'm in the process of becoming a foster mom.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh,
So if I were to have, younger kids in the house, that would probably change my direction as far as me being in a relationship.
In what kind of way? So you're saying where you wouldn't
I
date, or what
probably
do you mean?
wouldn't be really in a serious relationship. I mean, it just depends. I mean, anything can happen,
Hmm.
but I just me becoming a foster parent, you never know. It's kind of like you never know what you're gonna get. It's like a
Hmm.
bubblegum machine,
Yeah.
and
mhm.
um, I wouldn't want to continue to victimize the victim.
The child. Yeah.
Right. So if me putting off my satisfaction for a while to, benefit the kids, and I'm willing to do that.
Oh, that
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha. So Trina, I know you're married. Was it difficult when you started dating your husband with your kids?
Well, not for my son because my son had moved out by then.
Hmm.
But for my daughter, it was an adjustment
It was
because
okay.
she was used to just her and I. When my
Okay.
son turned 16, I gave him the option to live with his dad.
Okay.
So he had moved out with his dad. And so maybe I started dating my husband a couple years later.
Hmm.
And so it was just me and my daughter for 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And so when I say she never, you ain't laying up in my house,
Hmm.
she ain't saying good morning, you ain't saying goodbye. We ain't do those.
Okay.
So when dating my husband, he came from another state. So
Hmm.
when he came in, and she had been hearing me talk about him and talk to him for about 6 months, and he wanted to make sure she was comfortable with him coming to visit. Like he literally wanted to talk to her. Is it okay if I come and visit and take your mom on a date?
Wow.
And she was
Okay.
like, well, y'all on the phone all the time, so I want to see who you are. Even when
Okay.
he came to visit, she wasn't at the house. She was at my mama's house. Mm-mm.
So Trina, at the point that did he ever, or did you guys get together when she was still in the house though? Like as
Yeah,
far as living together?
we did. We did. And we also had his son. So um,
So how was that adjustment, or
it
how
was
did you guys move in that space?
it was an adjustment because as old as she was, I had left her dad when she was 4.
Okay.
And in her mind, when she turned 12 and 13, I was still supposed to be with her daddy. I don't know what juice she was drinking, but it was not some juice that I purchased at the store. Uh,
Okay.
so it was like, well, you're not gonna give my daddy another chance. I'm like, sweetie, um,
That was a long
hell
time.
no. Like, hell no. Like it's not an option. It was when I left, I left. And I told her that. So just for some reason in her mind, I
Hmm.
destroyed her dream of being back with her daddy.
Mm.
Mm. Okay.
And so it was an adjustment. But, in the beginning, oh, I love him. Or my husband, I love
Hmm.
him. I like him. He's a parent of education.
Hmm.
So his minor is education, okay, in college. So
Okay.
he was a stickler of you don't do shit till your homework done.
Mm.
So she ain't like that. Well, why he got to tell me to do my homework and why he got to go over my homework and he is the adult. He is
Mm.
the male of our household. You got to deal with it. It's a level of respect. He never put his hand on her. Hell,
Mm.
but she ain't like when he raised his voice. Her whole soul was destroyed. But if you're
Okay.
not doing what you're supposed to, then you are going to get disciplined. It is what it is. And his son also lived with us, which is my 18-year-old. So we had both of them in the house together. So they were raised together.
Okay.
So, and it was adjustment for him because I'm not his mama. You know what I'm saying? I was Trina then. Now I'm Mama T. But when Jaden lived with us, he was 7, going, until he was about 11, he lived with us. So it was an adjustment. I have another woman with my dad,
Hmm.
you know, I have to obey her because she's the woman of the house. I have to keep my room clean. But he was a sweet kid. So I really didn't deal with a lot of drama until my daughter became a teenager and thought,
Mm-hmm.
Like teenage girls do. Yes.
Hmm.
Got you.
I think
Okay.
that was our battle. But it was with me. Her and my husband have a closer relationship than me and her most days.
Wow.
I'm the non-tolerant parent, whereas he's like, babe, you need to listen. No, I'm the mama. I ain't got to do all that.
Mm,
But that's just me. I'm very Southern. What I say goes.
gotcha.
Period. It's a matter of respect.
Okay. And Melissa, you need me
Could
to
you
repeat the question?
please?
Yeah. Are you ready for a
Yes,
health?
please.
Are you ready for a relationship? And do you perceive with your child being in the house that it's going to be a problem? So if your husband or your boyfriend wants to go into something serious and feels like he wants to do it, but your child is there and that's making him uncomfortable, like how would you handle that? Do you think that would be a problem?
I would love to be in a relationship.
Okay.
I don't know if Jamila will be a problem, or I don't think she would. As in proceeding into a relationship or to make something stronger than a just friendship. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it. I think it would be a problem.
You said, I'm sorry, I think it's some lag. What was the last part you said, Melissa?
I don't think it would be a problem if she's here in the house, if I was in a serious relationship, or if it was serious and we proceeded to being married.
Okay. All right. I have one more question before our final question, ladies, because
I actually have a couple for you ladies.
oh, okay.
Just a couple.
The on our men's panel that we had, a lot of the men, it was kind of indifferent. Some of the men were saying that they would discipline their girlfriend or spouse's kid, and some said they were not okay with it. Are you guys open to, if your kids were living in the house or when they were living in the house, were you open to your significant other disciplining the kids? How do you feel about that? We'll start with Karina.
Oh, if I had somebody here when my child was younger, you talking
Mm-hmm.
about?
Yes.
Well, no, we would have to talk about that. You got to come through me first. Because my whole thing is like, you don't really need to discipline him. I'm the one that disciplines him. So he might be because his father's the nice person, the nice parent. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Trina, I ain't having no shit. Like, all right, this is how it's going to go. You listen to me or what? What's your option? But no, I mean, if it was something that happened between the guy and my son, I'd
Mm-hmm.
be like, look, you can bring it to me first, right? And then I can deal with it. But if it was such a situation where I could actually, because if he's living with me, I gotta trust him or whatever. If it was that point, then I would be like, okay, I will let him discipline him if my son needed to be disciplined, you know. But
Okay.
the
Whether it
last,
was a girl or a boy?
whether it was a girl or boy, but the last resort
Mm-hmm.
is putting hands on them. Now, discipline, you can, scream, shout, whatever and stuff. The last resort is putting hands on them.
Right.
Okay? Because depending on how you raise your kid, I beat my
Mm-hmm.
son's ass twice in his lifetime. He's now 19. He knows by the tone of my voice and how I look at him. She ain't playing. She crazy. Let me move the fuck away from her. Okay? So, it depends on the kid. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, some kids, occasionally, yeah, you got to put hands and, whatever. Other kids, you just be like, look, I'm the parent. You get it straight, or it's going to be me and you. You want a buck? Buck. Because it's going to be on. But, yeah. I will allow them to just, if it was a girl or boy, I will allow them to discipline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tasha?
I'm going to say yes, I would. I've been in that situation before, and I feel it's about respect. If your
Yes.
child knows that you can't put your hands on me or you can't tell me anything, that it brings a rift in the house. There's no peace there because kids will keep stuff going back and forth, when they know they can pit the parents against each other or the couple against each other. If you can't bring your kids in my house, and that's not even people that I'm dating. If you have your child spend a night at my house, if I can't discipline them, they can't come here because
Bam.
they're going
That
to
part.
respect me in my house. In the same way,
Mhm.
if my kids went somewhere else, that person can discipline them. If you tell a kid or you tell a guy, bring it through me first, and mm-mm. I
They don't
need you
have
to
respect for
discipline them when children need to be disciplined at the moment of the infraction, not discussing it with me. If it's something major and we have to come together and talk about it and determine what that punishment or that discipline should be, that's one thing. But I'm not going to tell my significant other to wait until I get home or run it by me first. If you feel it's bad enough that they should be disciplined, take care of it right then. That's my
Okay.
opinion.
Gotcha.
Because I'm going to
Trina?
take care of it right then.
and that's how we did it. I mean, like I said, he's not a it took a lot for them to get an ass whipping. Okay. He's more of the talker, and he has a tone that will make you straighten up. Where I'm the one that I'm gonna beat your ass and we'll talk about it later. He's the one pulling me off of everybody.
Okay.
My son is 6'5", and I will still try and climb that tree and bust him upside his head. He'd be like, babe, it's okay. He is the more like I can vaguely remember to this day, the kids still talk about it. I think Jaden was in elementary getting ready to go to middle school, and Zari was in middle school. And you know how you get up on a Saturday and I said, clean up this stuff. I got to run and do the groceries. You know, I'm going to the grocery store doing whatever. And my husband's Terry. He had to go to work. So by the time I get back and I got a car full of groceries and they hadn't done nothing. Like they asked, she up there curling hair, he doing the video games, he doing whatever he want to do. I said, oh, okay, so y'all, I'm pissed. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all just really got me bent today. And he called. I said, you know what your damn kids up in here doing? Nothing. They ain't clean shit. He said, all right, I'll be there in a minute. He took a lunch. He said, you leave, go get your nails done, go do what you do. I got this. I came back. They sitting at the table. He got their ass writing a dictionary from the front and the back and dared them to move. So he got to go back to work. I'm like, y'all can get back to work. They was like, my daughter was like, Pop said I can't leave till he get home from work. I said, but he don't get home from work till 7:00. No, we got to finish writing this book. Like whatever he said to him, my daughter and his son, they ass did not move from that table. They went to sleep at the damn dining room table. And he ain't laid no damn hands on neither one of them. But from when I tell you every Saturday going forth, they ass was up before me getting their shit done.
Okay.
So
Mother.
that only happened because he called and I was like, these goddamn kids ain't cleaned up nothing. They ain't did. Okay, I'll be there in a minute. But it's never been wait till I get home to discipline anybody. He handled that and told me about it later. And this was before we were married.
Okay.
But had you not allowed him to take care of that, the kids wouldn't have respected him enough to sit at that table.
That part. Like it's that earned respect.
Okay. Melissa?
Yes, I'm old fashioned. I will allow him to discipline my child. I stayed with someone we were dating, and I allowed him to, when I say discipline, not whoop, because she was older, give advice and sit her down and say, hey, this is what you should do this. I did allow that. I want that. I want her to respect him. I want him to respect her. So yes, you can discipline my child. We can sit down and we can talk about it. But if it happens and I'm not around, yes, feel free to discipline my child. Even if I have someone over. If someone comes in my house and they have a little child that's running around and I say, hey, can you, so-and-so is doing whatever. If they say, oh yeah, I see them, and you're in my house and you don't say nothing, the next time they do it again, I'm going to do it. I'm going to discipline myself. So yes, please discipline my child.
Melissa, I respect your home, but you bring them through my door and they jumping on my furniture, I'm going to tell them one time, sit your ass down. If their mama got something to say, you can get up out the door with them. because your child should be in a place to know when you come in Auntie Trina's house, all that's unnecessary. Kids gonna be kids, don't get me wrong, but when they're to a point where they're out of control and the mama can't take care of them, they don't need to be over here because I'm popping somebody.
I feel like the people need, if you are in a position where you don't feel that your significant other can make the proper decision on disciplining your child, you need to evaluate that relationship,
Most
because you
definitely.
shouldn't be bringing a person into your home that you don't feel can make a decision regarding the best interest of your kid.
You
Okay.
know, I said what I said, like not having my son discipline, like hitting him, right? Only because of how I grew up and the women that my father would bring into my life as a kid growing up. You know what I'm
I can
saying?
respect
And
that.
they didn't, I wasn't a bad kid, but they weren't yeah, their whole thing was to get to my dad. And then their thing wasn't to be nice to me either, because when my father wasn't around, they turned their back. He turned his back. They was the most evilest bitches I know. But that's the reason why I say, like, okay, fine. You don't want your significant other, right, to come to you about whatever, but because of my upbringing, I'm like, now, before you get to that route, you know what I'm saying? I gotta see how he handles that. But he can't put hands on my kid. He can't.
And there should be a
Gotta do
discussion before
something.
the relationship progressed to
Right.
living together. Like that, if you, I mean, because you
Right.
have, you know, people who live together and they haven't discussed these things. They
Right.
just jump into a
Oh yeah.
relationship. It's important. No
No.
man is moving
Mhm.
into my house and I
Yeah.
have kids and I don't know what your discipline strategy is.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't tell me how to
Right.
discipline your kid. If I have to yank her and snatch her
Mhm.
up and hold her against the wall, you can't tell me not to put my hands on her. Whatever I did at the moment was warranted. So
Gotcha.
I don't need you to tell me what my boundaries are as far as discipline. Either I can discipline them or I can't. And if I can't, they can't come to my house.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you, ladies. Kanika, you want to go ahead with your question?
Karina, I know you got to get out of here, so I'm going to start with you, and this is going to be the last question. It's going to be two parts, ladies.
Okay.
So you can answer the first part and then answer the second part. And I'll start with you, Karina. Um,
Gotcha.
Tell me the best thing about motherhood and the hardest thing about motherhood. That's the first question. And my second question is, if you could do it all over again, would you do it at the same age with the same baby fathers?
Okay. I would do it at the same age. I'm asking the second question first. I would do it at the same age, but with somebody different. I would. I would do it at the same age with somebody different.
Okay.
Um,
And
as far as being a mom, I don't,
what's the greatest thing about motherhood and what has been the hardest thing about motherhood?
okay. The greatest thing about motherhood is seeing my kid grow up and becoming the person that he is right now. And to know that I had 95% to do with that. The hardest thing is seeing that kid grow up like that, basically without his father, and knowing that it's all on me. That's the hardest part about being a mother, because his father has the opportunity to be in his life. And that was the hardest thing for me about being a mother, because I planned to have this kid with him,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
even if we didn't get married and all that stuff, even though I wanted that, but even though we didn't, I still wanted him to be a part of. And that was the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing about being a mother.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Natasha?
Okay, so first part, greatest thing about being a mother, I think that it elevated me. Well, I didn't know love before I became a mother. I thought I did, but as a mother, there's a different level of love that you tap into, and I think that it kind of softened me up a little bit and made me hard at the same time. The hardest thing is showing tough love, and sometimes you have to make decisions that, although you don't want to, they're necessary because you can see the end, the long-term effect of the decision that you had to make. Like I've had to have my son arrested. No parent wants to be be responsible for locking their kid up.
Wow.
But as a parent, sometimes you have to do those things to
Push.
redirect their path, right?
Yes.
And it worked. I mean, it worked. So I don't regret making the decision, but it still was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Now, part two. Oh, girl, I would definitely I think I still would have my kids when I did, because it allowed me to still live after my kids are gone.
Okay.
Like I started young, or I started on time. Let me just say that I started on time. So that now, after my kids have left the nest, I'm still young and I can move about the world the way that I want to. And, my kids never wanted for anything. Now, but about the daddy thing, absolutely not.
All of
I
them?
think I would take all of them. I would go to a sperm bank. Right.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, Tasha.
Yeah, the only thing that I would
You
change
don't know what you're
about
gonna get then.
the only thing I would change about having kids as young is because we didn't know what to look for in a father for
Oh,
our
that-
children.
that's real.
If you're older, then you can vet the suitors a little bit more
Yeah.
Mhm.
and know that either they're gonna be a good parent, they're gonna be a good spouse, they're gonna be a whatever, or you just need to kick them to the curb before you enter all of that. But
Yeah.
I still wish that I would have my kids, young, so that I could still live afterwards. But definitely, definitely, definitely not the same daddies. None, none three, none, neither, none.
Okay. That's real.
Yeah.
What did I what about you, Trina?
Okay, so the best thing about my babies, their growth.
Okay.
Um, Me being a young mother, I made mistakes because I didn't know. And, you know, I moved out of my mom's house like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure they good. And yes, I raised them predominantly as a single mom. So when I left with my son's father, he became abusive and I left him. Then I got with my daughter's father. He was a dope man. That's not what I wanted for my kids. I left him. And that they are still my greatest blessings. So I can't say I would change. I had them for a reason. You see what I'm saying? I'm like Tasha. God bless them, bless me with them for a reason. I may have been young, but He gave me that blessing at that time
Okay.
for a reason. And I can't say I may not like them jokers. I'm trying to be good, but it was a purpose for them
Gotcha.
because they gave me who I have. They gave me my babies I got.
So you would have them by the same fathers.
I would have them because then if it's a different person, I may not have the same son.
I'm gonna take
Gotcha.
that chance.
I have an amazing son. You said you're gonna take that chance, Khadijah.
With a donor, I'm gonna flip
You know what?
him right.
I have
This
an
one right here.
amazing
This
son.
one.
I have
Flip
an amazing.
that one.
I ain't
Look
gonna lie.
like yeah.
He,
No.
he may piss me off sometimes with the stupid shit he do. And I honestly told him one day, he pissed me off so bad. I said, Nick, I should have swallowed you. But at the same time, it's like
Okay.
he's my heart. My son
Yeah.
is my heart. My daughter
They
is
need you to
me.
they still, regardless of the father, they would still be your heart.
She is stuck on that sperm bank.
Hey, she
I'm
is
telling you,
about that life.
girl. Listen, I would go to the sperm bank and just flip and be like, that look right here. Take a chance. Cool.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Got you.
Did I answer all your questions,
You
Miss Lee?
did. You
Okay,
did.
thank you.
Okay, Melissa.
I would not change.
I'm sorry,
Um, the good part of being having in motherhood is because Jamila is a blessing. Um, I haven't done anything to not have any more kids, so I feel like she would be. If I didn't have her, I wouldn't have any kids.
Okay.
Um, Changing the fact of if I had it with her father, um, he was a good guy, but I probably would have waited just because of the maturity part of his part and my part,
Okay.
and just feeling like I'll be more in my career, financially wise and mentally. And me having Jamila at 22, that's why I want to have another one now, or whenever I said I want to have another one, it's because I forgot it. I don't remember it. I was so emotional back then. Now it's like I want to experience the part of having a child and carrying a child and going through the whole birth part. So yeah, I would do it again.
The same way. You can do it again the same way with the same man.
Uh, yeah, I would.
Okay. 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 All right. Vanita,
Okay, so what was the first part of the question?
the best thing about motherhood, the hardest thing about motherhood, and if you could do it all over again, would you do it at the same age with the same man?
The best thing about motherhood, I would have to say I have a girl, so she's very driven, education wise on her own without me having to do too much of anything. I guess whatever we instilled in her elementary school years gave her some kind of drive, or maybe she already came with that drive, but I would have to say that's the best part of it. The individual that she is as far as being driven. The hardest thing as far as motherhood is concerned, I perceive as losing myself in the experience. Um, Trying to figure out how to parent and understand who you are has been a struggle for me. So I'm trying to get back to knowing who I am now, because I see a totally different person from who I was prior to her. And not to say I'm fully trying to get back to that person, but something similar to that, because I feel like my light, if you will, is dim now. So I want to be more joyful again. So that was, to me, that's the hardest part of it. In other words, sacrificing yourself for them. Um, and then the second part of your question, would I have her at the same age and the same dad? If I had to, if it was my destiny to have a kid, period, then yes, I will stay with the same age and the same dad. Now, if I had a choice and it wasn't necessary, I probably wouldn't have had her at all if I would have known what I know now.
Which is what do you know now?
That, to me, based off of what I have experienced, you don't get a whole lot out of having kids.
Yeah.
I perceive that everything that I have given, the examples that I haven't given, including the patient, to me, you get patience from it, but I could have got that a different way in my perception. I could have got that a totally different way.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Well, I want to thank each and every last one of you, ladies, for being so open and honest tonight. I really enjoyed this show. And I will definitely look forward to inviting you all back for future panels. Probably song with men. They're the
I
most
was about to say,
interesting
can you
one.
include the men?
Oh yeah, I got one coming
Yes,
up.
yes,
I'm gonna invite you
yes,
to. I got one
yes,
coming up.
because I got a
yes.
whole lot to tell them
Yeah,
I
Delusional
got one for
Negroes.
you.
Okay.
I
look,
got one for
I'm
you.
apologizing in advance. You invite my crazy ass husband.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much again for joining the show. And thank every one of you for watching. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing you discussions and conversations such as the one tonight and panels, hopefully all year long. And my plan in the future is to have some of you join the panel as well. And like always, wherever you are in the world, I love you and good night.